Doodaloo, doodly. Howdy, everybody. Thanks for joining me today for a talk about natural distrust of authority. Something I've had my entire life. As a child, I ran around, I did what I wanted to do. My sister, she would make fun of me because I would say I do what I want. Because that's the way I see it. I asked my parents, I was probably the toughest kid for them to raise because I just wanted to do my own thing. Surprise, surprise. But today I figured, it's a little chillier outside, so I figured I'd switch it up. My orchid is blooming. She's looking beautiful. And then I got a couple of plants that I rescued from Home Depot. If you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, they usually have this rack in the back where the plants are, of the dying plants that they're trying to get rid of. So I usually try to save a couple. So it looks like I saved these guys. They're making it through. But I wanted to have this talk today on Sunday. The sun worshipers, they go to church today and worship the sun. And I was thinking about my last video about Jesus Christ, the King of Cowards, and got some comments that I read and I thought about. And I'm saying the followers of a story are the cowards. This character, Jesus, if he existed or not, is really irrelevant to me, because it's how people take the story and then what they act upon here. So if Jesus existed, I figured, like everything else in this realm, that's not the true story about that character. It was taken and twisted into a control mechanism, a way to control people here. And to go a little deeper in that, you need to realize, I had one comment that was talking about he doesn't like government. But he will not follow government, but he will follow God. You need to understand that the idea of God was created by government. The Council of Nicaea, back in the Roman times, Constantine locked a bunch of priests in a room and basically said, you need to come up with a new religion on how to manipulate people, and you're not leaving this room. If you don't, we'll kill you. So you got to stay in this room, figure out a way to twist these stories into some way we can control people, or we're just going to kill you. That's what happened with the Council of Nicaea and Roman times, and this Bible that people love to reference about somehow that this one book has all the answers of everything in it. It's just the most brain rotted stuff I could ever imagine, looking back at how I felt for that stuff. But it kind of goes along with this talk about just having a natural distrust of authorities, people who said, hey, I'll decide how you live. I'll decide for you what you do, what you can eat. I'll decide for you what you put into your body. It's just the craziest stuff to me, because I've always wanted to say, hey, whoa, let me figure it out. I'll figure this stuff out for myself. And it's just, I think, I feel like I'm in the minority sometimes about just leave me alone. I'll defend myself. I'll figure this all out for myself. I don't need guidance from men. I don't need a book. I don't need a bunch of stories. I'll go seek that out and find it. And that's like, in fact, that's like what I did throughout most of my 20s, into my 30s. I've looked at all the religions. I've looked at all the sciences. I have studied, researched, looked into things in and out, and came to my own conclusions. And it just always came natural to me. And I just wonder why it doesn't come natural for most people here in this realm. And it just leads me to believe the soul trap theory more and more, that these are a bunch of Matrix NPC programs that literally don't have the capability to think or to figure things out. They're following a program, they're following a script. And that maybe there's some real, actual consciousnesses that have been tricked by it all. And they're tricked by the light. I love that concept. Because you have so many people thinking they're good, thinking they're doing good stuff, and they're just tricked by the light. You can be tricked by good as much as you can be tricked into doing bad. It's just so obvious that words can't really explain everything here. Actions speak louder than words. I'm sure you've heard that one. It's something I live by. I try to act out what I feel and what I see and the way I want things to be. I'm going to act it out, okay? I'm not just going to say, this should be that, that should do that, we should all do... No, I'm going to do it. I think about my... in high school, my soccer coach, he was our PE coach. He was from Trinidad and Tobago. He was a Caribbean guy, Mr. Najjar. But he was our soccer coach, and he would tell us, no shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's only you do it or you don't do it, right? You know, you either act or you don't. None of this lukewarm... right? You just do it. You do the right thing when it comes to it. You don't look back and regret that you should have been doing something different. You should have been standing up and saying no to what goes on around you. Today I went for a walk outside. It's really nice. I got about 9 acres of my own, but then I have 50 acres of conservation land right next to my property that I walk. And I guess I hadn't been back there in probably a couple of years walking that conservation land. And I noticed that they cut down like the biggest trees, the most beautiful big trees are just cut down there. And I'm like, I thought conservation land was like, you leave it untouched, you don't mess with it, but it's just another reason, like, you shouldn't trust authorities, right? We assume so much here. But I guess, you know, conservation land means you can let some private company come in and harvest all the big trees and make money off of it, right? In this twisted realm. So, I mean, a lot of this talk is kind of like, look around you at what authorities do. Look at your president, right? God, starting a big war in the Middle East, sending people to their death, bombing children at school, bombing hospitals. What the fuck? It's just, to me, the way that I see things is we're all equal. There is no hierarchy, all right? Especially with consciousness. when we can all think any way we want, dream any way we want, I imagine this is some twisted, fucked up realm that we're in right now, where the animals eat each other, the liars and the thieves and the murderers are in charge, and they subjugate and psychologically dominate the good people, the people that don't want to hurt others. They're treated like slaves here. And this whole thing of authority and, I mean, men being treated like gods. And I was just walking in the woods, like, even that, even a thing that's conservation land, they twist and pervert here. And I walked down to this beautiful spot to where there's a bunch of running water. I'll have to make a video out there one day. It's so nice. You hear all the babbling of the water going, and it's very calming. So I went for a nice walk outside today, and then I came back, hopped in my salt bath. I'm all charged up, feeling great. And I'm thinking of this, like, to me, like, I have looked around at these so-called authorities, right? People who have the answers, scientists, right? Doctors, right? That want to doctor your body. You know, like, none of these people should be trusted. They make money off of their so-called official, authoritative places that they hold, right? It's just this weird, strange hierarchy of things here, and it's just, you put some criminal at the top and they get to abuse everybody below them. It's the whole pyramid structure, the all-seeing eye, all the perverted secret society crap that goes on here. And then I just think of the religions. That's why I feel like I came here. I grew up in a Christian family. I went to Christian school. I feel like the only reason I went through all of that was to truly understand it. Understand. To understand something means you stood under it. You kind of were subjected to it. And that's the only way to really understand something, is to live it. So when I get these comments from Bible thumpers, like, it means absolutely nothing. I was there. I thought the way that they thought. I get it. I was blind as could be, thinking in those ways. And nobody was going to snap me out of it. I mean, I was so hard-headed about the way, I thought. And I finally opened up and changed. But it's really like, did I really change? Or have I just cleansed myself? Have I just washed away all the deception that was implanted in me as a child? That's what's so screwed up about this place, is what they do to children. I will never understand how you brainwash kids at school, or as a parent, force your beliefs onto your kids. Some sick, twisted stuff, to not just allow something to be and to grow itself, but to give it guilt and shame if it doesn't do what it's told, and to try to instill fear into children. Like, it's so screwed up here. It's why I'm like, man, the soul trap people must be right. Like, how could this be so messed up here? When you could imagine a perfect realm where we're just dancing, we're just going out all the time with having our plans. We eat everything, but nothing has to die. We just enjoy the taste and the flavors and things. Like, I don't know. It just... And then I just think about, but I always have to go back to know thyself. Each one of us came in here alone. We came in one by one. Even if you were a twin, your twin came out right before you, or you came out right after. You never come here with somebody else. You're kind of going through a portal, through a tunnel, through your mom's womb, right? And so I always got to go back to like the way I see it, because I know I'm sovereign. I know I'm the king of my own castle. And it makes me think of the No Kings protests that are going on. There's this No Kings protest. How everything is so backwards. It's not no kings. It's everybody's a king. But no, the slaves, or nobody can be a king, right? Da, 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 da. We all gotta be peasants. It's just this stupid idea that there's all these hierarchies, and somebody's got to be in charge of somebody else. It's why I really think this is some Matrix trickery realm. It's all about tricks and traps here. And temptations. Like, what is your temptation? To get you addicted and hooked into the flesh, into living in the body. Like, what, there's so many things here to twist you and take you. Is it money? Do you love your gold bars? Do you love your chocolate cakes and you're living like a slop, Do you love hustling and working hard and then looking down at the lazy person who doesn't do anything? It's just, there's so many stupid things here that, like, people are rewarded for doing the wrong thing. And if you're just trying to be a neutral, peaceful observer, good luck, right? You got to walk your own path. You got to do it yourself. Where you would think that would be like the basic human right. Everybody gets to kind of decide the way they want to live. They're left alone. And then they can voluntarily come into society and decide what they want to trade and work with people. But it's the total opposite here. You're born and raised and told all this crap you got to do. And then you're taxed. Nobody is free from like taxation and the theft that goes on. And then it's just, I go on and on and on with this talk. Man, I really could. I'm trying to make these, digestible. I'm not trying to just make hour-long videos unless I have to. I know I made one not too long ago, but it just had to be that way. But like always, I just want you to be sovereign. I just think that's the whole purpose of me being here and doing what I'm doing, is to try and spread sovereignty again. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. No hierarchies. Everyone is equal. And I just feel like that's where I come from. That's my realm. It's just like the total opposite of this realm. And I'll kind of leave it on this idea. I might have mentioned this before, but Jordan Maxwell, he's a very great guy to study and listen to. But in one of his talks, he was kind of talking about the devil or all the evil people, and how when he was a child and his parents would go buy donuts and bring them home, he would go to the chocolate donuts and he would lick the chocolate donuts so that nobody else could have them, so that they were his. and he kind of says, like, that's what's going on here with these authorities and all these people that rule over everything. They lick everything up and they claim it, and they stamp, they put themselves in it, they pervert it, and they say, I'm the one who created all the good stuff, I'm the this, I'm the that, and they're the evil pricks that are running the show. They're the clowns of the circus, right? Like, humanity is enslaved by salesmen, right? Like, you got to look at Trump. I mean, it just seems like it all had to come to like the ultimate car salesman liar ruling over people, and the Christians especially are so blind to this guy. It's just incredible to see. But you have this slop of a human that just lies, non-stop lying. And people still believe it and go for it. Like, I heard somebody say he's attacking Iran because Iran was behind the assassination attempt. It's like, dude, that was the fakest. There was no assassination attempt. That was fake propaganda. Obviously, to try and rile up the retards to keep following government. It's just the stupidest crap that goes on here. I just don't know why people fall for it. I don't know how you can fall for the most obvious lies. But, yeah, that's not, I don't know. I don't think that way. I see through lies. Like, that's kind of the thing about it. And it just is what it is. And I'm just trying to say these things and maybe shake something loose in you to where you're not afraid to think for yourself. You're not afraid to speak your mind and be free here. It's okay. All right? It's a big thing in my life. I've watched other people, listen to their talks, and it's helped me realize things. That's why I do this. Right? I don't want any money. I don't want anything from it. It's just the right thing to do. Period. So I hope you enjoyed this fiery talk. Hope you enjoyed the beautiful plants here. I love you.